regardless of what happens.
At the moment, the best team in the world.
Exactly. Well, actually, winning that MSC this 2019, they really made a mark into the scene. I mean, most of the Filipinos that doesn't even know what is Onyx back in the day.
Yeah.
But when they saw how they play in the MSC, they're just playing like
another level, right?
Yes, exactly.
It was insane. But of course, they are the sister team. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see if they can live up to that legendary name of Onyx. Of course, we'll find that out in the upcoming games. But so far, it has looked very, very impressive for them. Now, on the other side we've got none other than, of course, Onyx. They also are an organization. They are a team that has had a lot of history.
Yes.
Used to be under Archangel. Now, of course, they are their own independent team. They wanted to go branch out, and they have actually been looking phenomenal. Lots of roster changes among this team, and actually, I want to talk about their form. I actually spoke with Coach Panda recently of Archangel of Onage, and he said that Onage is really a team to watch out for. Even though they're not Archangel anymore, Onage has been practicing their butts off.
Yes, exactly. Well, knowing regarding with the Onage, they also have another player who said just came here just for the season 4, and his actual name is going to be Lauren. I mean, Lauren has already been known into the scene as like a tank player coming from Execration. But here on your screen, guys, you're actually looking onto Onyx PH coming from the previous name that they are the Dream High.
Yeah, Dream High. Dream High, they used to be like, as we said, ragtag bunch of kids formed a team, and suddenly they're all dominating. That's how you got on your screens right now. Say, oh my Venus, Wise, Lar, Yaknu. Obviously, a shout out to Chaknu.
Yes.
Yeah, and Chaknu himself, who has been performing really, really well lately. We're gonna see him a little bit later on in the season, of course. So let's talk about the next team on our hands. Of course, we also have the squad of Onage. But before we talk about Onage, take a look. This is Onyx PH. They are so young. They're all of these young guns, you know. When it comes to a team that has a young presence, a young situation with their team, you know, you always think, how do these guys stack up against the more mature players? How do they stack up in terms of, you know, the emotionality, in terms of the maturity, and you know, the ability is always there. That's what we always see when it comes to young players. They always have the natural ability, but they're always going up against players who are more experienced, who are more mature. How do you think these guys are going to fare coming into this season?
Well, coming from the pro scene like this, I'm pretty sure that they've already been playing a lot of tournaments outside, but this is the MPL. This is like a grand league. This is some like for a dream for these kids, and I think they do have like a little jitters, probably like a stage fright on their first.
Yeah, so they'll have to work on that definitely.
Exactly, but I think a very very good like a motivation coming from a coach or whatnot, or possibly on. I'm pretty sure that they have this something in their team that could be able to motivate these young players.
Yeah, definitely, because if you get into the MPL as this like young squad, you're going to be so motivated. You want to show the world what you've got, right?
Exactly.
That's the same thing that we saw from players like Carl TZ last season in MPL, and the second season of MPL, and they have ever since popped off and been absolute superstars. Now we're seeing the return of Carl TZ. Now we're seeing the return, you know, these young players just emerging out of nowhere, and I believe that potentially Onyx PH could just turn the tables and upset everybody. We might see some, you know, absolutely new team that will just light up everybody. But we have yet to see that. But of course, it is the first game. Now let's bring on the topic. Let's move it on to Onage. See what they've got. Now let's talk about their form, how they've been performing. They have underperformed season 3. They didn't exactly do as well as we thought they would, though they had a great showing. This is their chance to make up for it.
Yes, I think this is I think they've been practicing a lot. Regarding with the team of the Onage, there are new players here like Nixu. I've been actually saw him playing.
Yeah.
He's a very, very spectacular player. And coming into this new team is also with Lord. I think they do have a different chemistry than what they're actually showing back on season 3. Maybe there is something lacking on what their strategy way back then, but I'm pretty sure that from this season, they will be able to showcase a lot of things that we haven't been seeing in season 3. They've actually been playing. I've actually been friends with some of them, and they've actually been playing round the clock. Whenever I'm online, they're actually playing every single day.
Yeah, of course, you have to coming into MPL, right?
Yes.
You have to show that dedication. And obviously, if you want to be able to show that kind of dedication, you want to be able to, you know, win that grand prize pool, you want to show up, you want to write your name in history. Obviously, you're going to have to, you know, practice a lot. But let's talk about Lord. You did mention him. He's a really interesting point of interest. Did switch over from another team. I think it was Execration.
Yes.
And one thing I wanted to know, there is something about Execration that just makes superstars, that just makes champion winners. Even if it's not Execration. Even if
Exact-
Execration never won, Jeff Cutie forever, sterling example of that. Somehow ended up winning the season 3 with Archangel. Now, of course, Lard. He has always been sort of an underrated player for me, but always been really a consistent player. I think he's going to bring a lot to the table when it comes to Own It.
Yes, that's correct. Well, let's talk about Execration. They haven't even they actually haven't won yet.
Yeah, they
but
have not.
they're actually having a very very good chemistry. Seeing from their previous tournaments
Yeah,
that they've been having right now,
exactly.
and like with the new players on the team like Chaknu,
Chaknu.
yes, and there's a lot of things that going on. But the very very thing that they have like Zap. Dian
Yeah.
and Bakbet, those were the three pillars that they have in Execration. They just have to mix something in between.
Yes, like Chemical X.
Exactly,
And then
yes.
Powerpuff Girls.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. Because when Chaknu came into the picture, it's like the chemistry all sort of adjusted and it all just started to explode. I mean, when you talk about Chaknu, he brings so much to the table and not on the table and off the field, of course.
Yes.
Like he's lighting up interviews like it's nothing. But one thing I do want to mention about Shaknu, it's like the roles have grown, they've diversified, and they seem to have strengthened each other in terms of being as a team. You notice Zapnu, who used to be like the main superstar for Execration, now actually Bakbet stepping up into that role, who is now, of course, the main mage, and actually Zapnu's now stepping back, falling into a more marksman kind of role, and supported by Chaknu. So you can see that the roster, the growth of Execration is really growing phenomenally. Like they're maturing as players.
Yes, yes. Well, whenever you're gonna be looking on a perspective on a certain team, it's like Execration way back before. They're all superstars, and that's what actually is a bad thing for me.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be playing like in a basketball. You're not gonna put 5 Michael Jordans in
Yeah,
the team. That
exactly.
definitely they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Right? Because everyone will try to make a scene out of them. So in regards with Execration team, I think. They already have these stars like Bakbet and Zapnu. They have to mix in something in between that could be able to do like a chemistry on before
Yeah,
then.
you need like a great Scottie Pippen to have a Michael Jordan, right?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and you need a Dennis Rodman or something like that. I mean, when I look at Chakno, I see him sort of like a Dennis Rodman.
Possible, possible, yeah.
like a
yeah.
Dennis-
Someone who doesn't make scores but do a lot of rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like tanking for the whole team.
Yeah, exactly. He's like Dennis Rodman. He gets the job done, not afraid to get down and dirty, and that's I think a really good example of who. But if they're like the Chicago Bulls, I'd probably say Scottie Pippen. No, Michael Jordan would be Bakbet, and then Zapnu
Yes.
would be Pippen.
Boss.
At the moment, because they've switched roles. But anyway, of course, we're talking about the grand prize. We are having a huge amount of money at stake, and we're going to tell you a little bit about this later. So everything is at stake for this season, and of course, it's going to be at one of the biggest stages that we've ever seen for Mobile Legends here. It's at SMX this coming October, and we are
Yes.
so excited for it. It's going to be phenomenal here, and when it comes to the grand finals, we never have any idea what to expect, especially with new teams coming up.
Yes, exactly. Well, coming here in MPL Season 4, there's a lot of new, exciting, whatnot. It's going to be a little bit different coming from the Season 3, perhaps. So since you actually mentioned it's going to be on SMX, it's going to be huge for everyone and everyone on as a fan here at Mobile Legends. I hope we could be able to see mostly, since way back in the pavilion, actually we were actually there. There's a lot, I mean, the support from the community is awesome.
It's crazy. Even starting season 2. Season 2, when we did it at the Ayala Mall, Circuit Makati, it was packed in the morning, early morning, 5 a.m.
Yes.
You had people lining up from the outside just to get in. It was like a line like a kilometer long. I don't think I'm even.
Actually,
kidding about
we
that.
went there, but
Yeah.
we weren't be able to get in because the guard is actually trying to like control the crowd.
Yeah, there was too much. There's too many people. Honestly, I feel like we didn't expect that many people, but we
Yes.
should have. Because it's crazy. It started exploding. And then La Pavilion, that was also a big deal. That was also, full to the brim. It was absolutely packed. And now we have SMX. I think finally this time around we'll be able to fit anybody in.
Exactly.
Everybody in, I think.
It's really crazy how the community is actually reacting to this to Mobile Legends, and that's a very very good thing. But before anything else, here we're already starting the first match of the MPL Season 4, ODPH versus OH.
This is going to be the big one. Game number 1 of the series. And we're about to light it up. Let's see what we have on our hands.
Your team
The two
is
bans, of
banned.
course, going to be Onyx PH, going to be banning that Kaja and that Grok. And the other side, Harriet and Kimmy going to be taken away. But the picks are going to be following up. It is going to be the Cho, the Granger, the Esmeralda on the other side. And Onage, they already have locked in the Lilia, the Carry, and the Terizla. And I know you want to talk about this Lilia.
Yes, exactly. I was actually a bit surprised seeing the Lilia here on.
Yeah.
But for this one, regarding with the first pick Lilia, it's very very good pick for me for the ONH because they could be able to. I mean, rotation wise,
Your team is
Terizla and Lilia could be able to rotate as fast as Onyx.
Do you know they can clear
Exactly.
lanes so fast with
Exactly.
that? I mean, technically with Lilia, you can actually start off with a buff. If I'm not mistaken, Lilia is one of the 3 heroes who can level 1 clear jungle blue buff.
Exactly. I mean, in regarding with the seconds, I think the fastest that I saw that they could be able to clear.
Your team is
Blue buff
picking.
comes around 32 seconds. Lilia could be able to clear it around 43 to 45-ish.
Oh my god.
And you could be able to not most of the time that in regards with rotation, they go to the green one, then go to the crab. What mostly pro players do, they go directly to it's either they do invade, they invade the buff of the other team, or they could be able to do first blood from it. Because that's how fast Lilia could be able to
Because
clear.
by the time that you can clear that, you have at least 1 level or 2 level advantage.
Yes.
That quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you have that Terizla, who is also phenomenal, and of course Onich picking up that Franco, who is also a beast at invading. I'm calling it right now. They better go for that level 1 invade. They have to. Not level 1, but maybe level 2 invade. It's going to be so strong if they do, going with that Franco, going with that Lilia. There's no way that they shouldn't invade with this.
Exactly. Well, in regards with the Franco, the mostly that they use with Franco right now is that they use Franco as like diversion.
Yeah.
They do the hook like the blue buff.
Yeah.
That's
just
one
to
of
slow them down.
exactly. Just denying how it's like for this one, they will be having the Esmeralda, but it's surprisingly seeing a Nestus on Onyx TH.
Yeah,
What do you think about this?
The Estus is interesting to me. It provides a lot of sustainability. It provides them a lot of healing. You know, it's a good stable pick. But I actually saw the Rafaela. They were hovering over the Rafaela, and I
Yes.
thought that they would lock that in because that's something that's interesting to me. Because the Rafaela is actually more widely used now. Rafaela combination because you can give Terizla all that mobility that he does not have. You know?
Exactly. So
But,
see,
but with the Estus, what do you think?
yeah, like what you said is about sustainability. They also have the heal from the Minotaur, and they have here the Frostmourne shield coming from the Esmeralda. It's all about sustain here, just to stay onto the lane, and for they have also the Granger just to secure their late game. So I think, judging by the lineup of this one, if Oni is gonna be able to utilize their early game advantage, definitely Oni could be able to. I think they could be able to take
Dominate.
Yes, they could definitely dominate.
You know, I'm gonna agree with you. But for me, Onage, they have one condition: they need to invade successfully. They need to be able to go in. But let's wait and see. But we're gonna go straight into the game
Yes.
itself. Let's take a look. Oh, but of course, let's talk about the predictions. If you had to make one prediction, straight up, what would it be?
I would go for it.
On it?
Yes.
I have to say, this is a tough one because I'm gonna go for Onage. I love their lineup. I love how aggressive it is. If they can somehow manage to fight it off and get that early game domination, it should be a clean sweep. But if they manage, but on the other side, Esmeralda, she gets fed. They have so much resistance.
Yes, yes. Well, in regards with I think with the Onage lineup, they kind of slow in nature. They do have the here that's really slow with the boost that's actually really slow, and as well as with the Franco. So I mean, in rotation wise, you would always want to go into something with the highest mobility, so they'll be able to rotate around on the map. And for that, that's the reason why I'm going for Onyx. Though the burst damage coming from the Lilia is really awesome, but the mere fact, like what I'm talking about, the mobility, is will you be able to hit those bombs? Starting.
It's so confusing to try to kill them. It's
Yes.
nearly impossible. It's so slippery. But here we go. Let's go into the game number 1 of the series. Not going to delay any further. And here's the level in 1 invade that we were talking about. But it's not coming from Odin.
And that's going to be a hook, sir.
Oh, what a beautiful hook right there landing. And they actually get the first blood, getting punished for their aggression. Owning a little bit too overeager. They now give up the early levels, and they're going to give up that invade